Alright, so we're back here in the workshop again, doing more of my bits and bobs to get this all sorted and make it schmicky dick. Haven't got my little helpers here today, so she'll be a bit shorter, don't worry. They were a good help, they actually did really well. That's my partner's boys. And you also saw my little gorgeous daughter Daisy, apple in my eye. But yeah, so today I'm basically just gonna probably I'll do bits and show what I've done. We've got to sort through all this, but before I can sort through that, I've got to make some storage for it. I'll probably start off with putting the fibre on here, I think. Maybe getting the thermo fans sorted out. Get these shelves over here a bit, probably, yeah, fix those up. And put some actual compartments. I don't know. We'll do bits and bobs and we'll show you as I go. Alright, let's see in a bit. Okay, so I've cut myself a piece of fibro here. This is basically just to stick on top of here. I'm kind of considering sticking it down with silicone just because this has been made out of scrap, so it's all higgledy-piggledy-diggledy. And if I nail this down, it might have little cracks in that. But if I use silicone, well then, the silicone sort of, you put a thick bead, and it will kind of ride the high spots out, stick it down, and it'll just sit, and once it dries, it'll absorb the vibration. I'm just going to stop rambling. More or less, it'll work. Alright, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so it turns out I don't really have any silicone. Well, I do have a little bit, but I had enough to do this bead along the front and a bit there. So I guess I am nailing it down. So there you go. There's been a little bit of silicone, a little bit of... Oh, for fuck's sake. I hit my head on this every single time, like without a fail, and I guess it makes sense because that's where it sits, so... That's why it's getting ripped out and changed. But yes, I'll put it down and we'll do another bit. Rightio, so from a lot of just arse farting around and trying to work out what I'm doing. Oh, so I'm not arse farting around, I got a bit of fibro down. Ended up, I put nails, didn't like nails, so I've put screws all the way around, you can see here. Little screws, holds it down nice and tight. She's nice and stable, so I'm happy with that. Put a thermo fan there. That's just an old thermo fan off an old car. It works. I've just just wait a minute. I've just screwed it wherever I can find a place to screw it. And I've done the same down here. I put a new one down. Well, it's not a new one. I just put it the other way around because they work better on this side. Done the same thing. Just screw it wherever I can. So they're in. I've got a 12 volt light here. Obviously, as you can see here, there's going to be a 240 volt system down here. I've got all my extra bits and bobs that I need to do for that. I'm not doing that today though because it's just my head can't think clear enough to do that shit, and you shouldn't be doing electrical work if you're not an electrician. So, so you're never going to see me doing that because don't do your own electrical work. It's dangerous stuff, you can kill people. But basically, if I can get this bandsaw tidied up, because there's a couple things that needs a clean up, and there's the cord that needs to be fixed on it, so if I can get that done, I'm going to try and get my generator working alright, because by the looks of it, it's been playing up a little bit. Works great sometimes, other times it doesn't, but what I've worked out is happening is the little fuel tap is leaking, so it's just flooding the engine to the fuck house and not allowing to start. It flooded that badly that I couldn't even, it wouldn't even turn over with the electric start. I tried to pull start it, it was seized. I was real worried. I managed to reef it, and then I did that a few times, and it was spraying fuel out the air filter, and then when it did start, it was bubbling fuel everywhere. So I've worked out it's just getting flooded. So we've got to fix that up. Once that's fixed up, we'll get it back in here because obviously it's for my welder. So I'm gonna so today's goal is get the bandsaw in place where it needs to go, get the welder in place where it needs to go, attempt to get the generator fixed up and put it in place. And that'll be me happy for today. There's a lot more to do here, but I've got other things I need to do tomorrow and that, and it's getting to the afternoon, so we'll leave it at that. But I'll show you once I've got everything all sorted, or if I have a little bit of a fun thing to show, I'll film that. So, see you in a sec. Well, Kylux strikes again. Nothing too bad. Again, it was my own fault, but I'll get to that in a second. But we've got my bandsaw. It's all here in position. It fits there beautifully like it did before, except now I can roll it back and forth nice and easily. But I went to give me MIG welder a once over, give it a nice clean, make sure everything, just give it a good service before I put it back in the shed, because it sort of just lived in there for a long time. And I'm guessing that little fire that happened, unfortunately, a little bit spread into there, not much, and I got it out straight away. But I've just discovered this. You can see, so here's obviously your torch, and the hose for the torch got melted. So we're down to the, I don't know what this is, it's like, the stuff that's inside, and it's melted the tube the wire goes through. And I thought maybe it might still potentially have wire go through it if I can repair the sleeve, but I don't know if it's because of that or something else that's malfunctioned. But now when I turn the welder on, you'll see, just wait a minute, the wire feeder just starts automatically moving regardless of the input I'm putting in on the torch. And well, it's not supposed to do that, so I guess I've got to get my welder fixed now, don't I? Which is really annoying, because this welder's been a bloody champ. As I Murphy's Law, guy's luck, I praise my equipment and then it breaks down on me. But oh well, such is life. We'll have to do that at a later date, but for now we'll still put it in place where it's going to go, because obviously I can't afford to get that fixed right now. But luckily I've still got my portable MIG welder, so it's not like I can't weld. But yeah, anyway, so we've got that. Like I said, we're going to try and get, I won't film it because honestly, like I'm terrible with petrol and motors and engines and that, so, but I'm going to attempt to get these two generators going properly, because this big blue one is the backup generator for the property until I can get build a DC generator to feed the battery bank, which is still a little while away. And this also powers the welder. And then I've got this little orange one here, which I just have as just another little backup one, just if I ever need extra power somewhere it's too far to reach a cord to run, just a drill or something. And it also, I'll show another little cool trick. I actually used to keep it, I'll roll this out because we can now. Oh, look at that, it's still heavy obviously, it's a big old fucking bandsaw. But as you can see here, it has this little compartment here, and that little generator fits perfectly in there, and it's just powerful. Obviously you can, it's funny, as soon as you turn the bandsaw on, you can hear the generator labour, but then it goes back to normal again. But it's just powerful enough to run this bandsaw. So if I'm in a pinch and I can't run this off main power, I just start the little generator on board, and it runs that, and you turn it off. So it really makes this portable bandsaw. So I'll get that one going again. But yeah, so once I've got everything here, I'll show you once it all looks all schmicky dick. I'll get this, I'm going to clear off all this crap here. Not necessarily going to organise it just yet. I might, just depends how motivated I am and how much time I have. But it will be all organised, because I'd like to put some better shelving in here. And yeah, so I'm going to stop repeating myself. See you in a bit. So I had a bit of thinking about the next step I'm going to do, because it is getting a bit later in the day, like late afternoon. But I would really like to, I think I'd like to redo these palings here, because I've got some spare palings again from a job where they just had here and there. I've done a few fences and you always end up with a couple extras, so I collect them all and got enough to do that. And I've got an extra rail or two, so we'll get that all fixed up so it looks a bit tidier from the front. I also pulled the roof sheets off here. You can see it's all open now. I'll get off my face. So it's all open now. Obviously it's not going to stay that way, but yeah, that roof, that solar roof, that'll just continue over till the edge here. Eventually there is going to be more stuff built here, but you'll see that in the future as I do it. But yeah, we won't worry about this yet because I won't have time. Welder's back in place where it needs to go, even though it's broken. I'm going to have to get someone out to fix that, and we'll take it somewhere to get fixed, annoyingly. That's all done. That's not staying like that, but I haven't got the time, but we'll put some better shelving and organisation there. And probably underneath my table here, I won't bother paving it, but I'll put crusher dust down and we'll compact it down so there's at least a nice, you know, surface. And I don't know, that's all I can think of for the time being. There's lots of shit to do here, but we'll probably just have, I reckon today, have this palings done, and that's probably really about it. I might have a tinker with the generator later, but I won't film that. So I'll see you once I've finished doing that, and then we'll call it quits for this video. Alright, so see you in about a second. So I've got a bit more done. We've got, as you can see, all the palings taken off here. So I'm just going to put some new palings on, and then you'll see when it's done. Okie doke, that's me done for today. I think I've accomplished enough. I've got the palings all redone. I'll take it off me, what we can see just there. I'll take it off my face in a sec. So you can see I've got to cut grass and get rid of all the, this is all the firewood, so I've got to neatly stack, all the firewood gets neatly stacked against there, so we'll tidy this area up. But at least I've got all new palings there to make that look a bit tidier again, no more big fire burnt ones. I didn't even bother actually replacing the rails, to be honest, because despite the fact that they're burnt, it only just sort of like singed them. They're actually still structurally sound, they're fine. I screwed into them, no problem at all. So that's just like that. So that just gives me a little wall here. And just to repeat myself, probably for the 10th millionth time, this roof's just going to continue over here to the end here. And then I'll do something on the ground here. We'll set up shelving here, bullshit everywhere. And I don't know, I'll just think of it as I come. I'll make this a bit more of a nicer workshop for me to be doing stuff in. So I'll keep posted, see the progress. It might not be this, it might be something else, but whatever, you know, that's that video done. I'll see you next time, eh? Have a good one, bye.